GM, we are live, and thank you everyone for tuning in. And today we've got Evaverse, and I am personally very excited about this project. I'm a huge fan of it. Like, if you don't know, I've been tweeting about it nonstop, and ever since I've discovered this game, I'm like, it's a massive sleeper. It's a massive sleeper of a project, and yeah, I'm excited to learn about it and talk to you as well. How are you doing, man?
Doing fantastic. How are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. I was actually doing a couple of races before I hopped on here. It's
That,
difficult. It's
that's
difficult to
awesome.
avoid those obstacles.
Yeah, you'll get the hang of it. It takes a little bit of time. It's definitely a little tricky at first. So if you're on a
Yeah,
free board, it's made probably a little harder too. So
yeah, yeah. I'm
having an
using a free
NFT
board.
helps. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, do you mind giving a quick intro of yourself?
yeah, for sure. My name, well, people call me Deimos. That's my alias, I guess. I created that name for this Abaverse project, but it's really kind of grown on me. But yeah, my background's in game development, which you might have guessed. I've been making games for 10, 11 years now. I've worked in pretty much all kinds of different companies, small startups, VR. I've done mobile apps. I've done AAA games for quite literally millions of players on dev teams of 500 and kind of everything in between. And so, yeah, the Avaverse is seeing the comments is cool. Um, but yeah, the Avaverse is just like a testament to like our passion for the NFT space, and blending that with our background and our passion of growing up playing games and building games. And so,
Yeah. So as an experienced game dev, what makes you bullish on NFTs and play to earn?
yeah, I mean, it's a good question. Growing up, I played MMO games, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, and like the prestige and the kind of wow factor from that you get from the time you spend in games just lends itself to genuine player ownership and NFT technology and the blockchain. And so I remember when I first heard about NFTs, I was looking at CryptoKitties, and I was just so amazed by how popular that project was. And I kept looking at the images of the cats and like looking for the gameplay and trying to figure out where the game was. And then I realized that there wasn't really any game there, but everyone was calling it a game. And so that just got the wheels turning for me. And I realized just like the potential for this space, like when really paired with like a high quality gaming experiences that focuses on the player, focuses on the fun and the community. And so that's kind of what put this into motion as we started thinking about what building would look like.
Yeah. As you were speaking, I saw some of those Bitrio ads on the polls. That's pretty cool. Metaverse ads. I think that's the first time I've seen it.
Yeah,
So
the billboards. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what we intended them for. Like we built this game for the NFT community and players that like playing fun games together. So it's meant to be a kind of a social platform, but we wanted people to be proud of their NFTs, which people are. Like it's like all over Twitter, but we wanted like a more immersive kind of way for people to interact and come together.
yeah,
And so that's kind of what started the Avaverse.
yeah. NFTs is just fun, and I love that now I'm able to own my gaming assets as NFTs. That just adds a whole new layer of collectability that we've never had before. And to me, it's just I used to play a lot of like trading card games
Mm-hmm.
and RuneScape as well, and I used to
Oh,
collect
nice.
a lot of items. Like, even though I didn't use them, I would just like leave them in my bank. And now OpenSea is like the version of that. So the bigger my OpenSea account gets, the more
Yeah,
the more fulfilled I am as a collector.
it's like your own guild bank on the blockchain.
Yeah. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
let's start with the background of the project. I call it Evaverse. Am I pronouncing it wrong?
No, you're not. I like that it's a little ambiguous, and I give people the flexibility to say it whatever they see fit. So I say Avaverse, but you can say Evaverse. I think they're both right.
Right. Cool. Evaverse. It is.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's could you give us a background of the project and what you're building over here?
Yeah, sure. So I think at a very high level, you could think of it as a highly immersive social platform for the NFT community and gamers. We want this world to be the most fun place to come when you want to play and earn with your friends. And so everything that we've built has been intentionally designed to bring people together in a collaborative shared experience where they can show off the ownership of their items and play different games together. And so when we launched, the original NFT collection was 10,000 playable game characters. We launched over the summer. That gave people a way to kind of log into the game and socialize. There was voice chat in the game. There were some mini games, but they were still pretty lightweight. And then the idea was that we were going to develop this game with our holders and our community over time. And so that's exactly what we've been doing, and that's been our goal. And we listen very intently to player feedback, and we submit surveys, and they've really helped kind of guide the direction of this game over the last 6 or 7 months, and that's been a really cool thing to be a part of. But the longer term vision is that we're going to have multiple game modes, multiple mini games, and so racing is just one of them. We have the turtles that you're seeing right there, which is an entirely different NFT collection. They'll follow you around and play games with you, and you can name them whatever you like. And so, but we're gonna have turtle racing coming up soon, and so then you'll be able to actually race your turtles and earn tickets and ultimately tokens through the racing with turtles, and that'll be like more of an auto racer. So more of our answer to Zed and D-Race and those types of projects. But we're going to continue to expand that ecosystem with more games so that players will be able to play whatever their favorite types of games are here in the Evaverse and earn in one ecosystem and kind of show up as whatever NFT avatars and show off their NFTs that they're excited about in one digital immersive world. So that's the high level.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the Evaverse account tweet that I was coming out with the turtle race, so I immediately went on OpenSea and bought a bundle.
Nice.
I had to. I had to.
I love
Yeah.
that. And go ahead.
So it's pretty much a gamified metaverse.
Yeah, it's very games focused, and so it's like that's what it's fun to do. It's fun to play games with people. It's fun to play online. It's like everyone has ownership of their different assets. Like I love seeing how passionate people are about the hoverboards and the unique styles and visuals that they have. And with First Arrivals, which is our main avatar collection, people, yeah, they're come together and show these off. And so it's really cool to see.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just love the whole vibe of Evaverse. It's very I don't know how to describe it. Like it's just feels very cool. Like it's a nice place to be in, I guess. Like the music when you're racing, I love the music, the soundtrack of the
Yeah.
racing game. And yeah, it's I like dances. It's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, and it's really grown. Like I think the community really makes it like an amazing place that it is.
Yeah.
The community's been super supportive, friendly. Yeah, they're really passionate about playing in game, and like it's wonderful to see it going in the direction that we wanted, like hitting the goals that we have, like really
Yeah.
bringing value to our players. And so as a developer, I really think that blockchain technology allows you to develop more closely with your community as actually holders and uh, having a more vested stake in the project than like traditional free to play games.
hmm I'm watching the gameplay now, and I'm guessing these hoverboards, they're gonna have utility outside of just a racing game. Is this like a way to travel inside of
Yeah,
Evaverse?
yeah, you can. If you have a hoverboard, you can take it anywhere. You can go and collect treasure around the map, which is kind of hidden and scattered throughout, and that gives you tickets. Racing gives you tickets. The hoverboards level up. We envision like once we have a nice spread of different games, like we want to do a shooter game. We have turtle racing. We have hoverboard racing. It's like at some point, we want to let players pick and choose their own mini games. So maybe you're
Mm,
like, this is a shooter game on hoverboards with low gravity, and then you can go and load into an arena and then play whatever you want, and then people can essentially architect their own games that way. And then ultimately, our longer term goal is to have a level editor where people can build their own arenas, mint them as NFTs, and like share in the earning potential, so that the best builders that make the best levels have an opportunity to uh, really kind of flourish in the earning ecosystem of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and I noticed the number of players is also steadily increasing, which is good because I think it's starting to get some Twitter traction,
Yeah, yeah, we've had a
especially
lot.
recently.
Yeah, a lot in the past. I just say 3 or 4 weeks, and so we just
Yeah.
crossed 10,000 like total game players, which is amazing.
Wow, nice. Yeah.
We and that was a few days ago. And now we're almost up to 11,000, and we're really close to 1,000 daily active players. And so
Awesome.
the servers are getting very full, and we're working on solutions for scaling. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's really exciting to see.
So for the shooter game, I'm guessing there will be a collection of guns or something released. Is that a
Correct.
free
Yeah.
mint for the current holders, or is
Yeah,
it a
yeah,
yeah?
good question. The way we see it is that first arrivals are essentially keys to the rest of the Evaverse, and so um, when we did turtles, we built a turtle collection so that it would incentivize people to continue minting our collection of first arrivals, because it took about 6 weeks
Yeah.
to sell out, and so um, yeah, we launched turtles, but we were gonna do 10K, so everyone got one, but the way the art turned out, like in order to make certain rare turtles, like Galaxy and Zenith and Celestial turtles, we actually had to cut the collection down to 5K, and then so not everyone was able to get one, and so that's what actually led to hoverboards being developed. Is that we wanted another 10K collection we built from scratch so that we could give everyone for free, and so we airdropped them to all of our holders, and so for future collections, there will be a portion that is airdropped or incentivized or given back to the community. But we also are, as the game grows, like 10,000 NFTs is no longer going to be enough to support the ecosystem. And so our future collections are going to get bigger and bigger so that we can support the growing game player base.
Okay.
So it'll be a combination of both to answer your question in a very long
Yeah.
roundabout way.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I understand that when the game gets bigger, 10,000, it's not nearly going to be enough. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and these turtles, their utility, is it solely tied to the racing game that is coming up, or will there be other utility in the future for these turtles?
Yeah, it's going to be primarily tied to racing, just like hoverboard utility is primarily tied to hoverboard racing. The way we're thinking about this is essentially one collection per game mode. And
Okay.
so, like the whatever the shooting, whether it's guns or whatever kind of weapon that is, like that's still up in the air. But it'll be a new collection that's then supported by a new game mode, and we continue to do new modes, and people can buy or collect the NFTs for the types of games that they want to play and spend the most time in. But with everything, like just like we have a free hoverboard, like our goal here is to be a widely accessible game for not just NFT holders, but for people that are new to the space that maybe don't have the ETH to pick up the NFT right away, and so they can learn, they can play the game, they can experience it, they can earn something, which is kind of onboards them into this new way of playing. And so that's one of our sort of our high level goals for all the games that we make, really. And so yeah, there will be more of that too. That's why it was done this way with hoverboard racing.
So it's free to play and play to earn?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. That's
So
cool.
yeah, if you don't have any NFT, you can play as the default avatar, and you can't race. You can't take your hoverboard outside of the race, but when you sign up for a race, you are given a free board to race on.
Yeah. I hate not having a hoverboard outside the race. I hate walking. I
Yeah,
have to get a hoverboard.
yeah, it's nice. It's nice having the board for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Especially because they look cool. It's just a cool piece of item. Cool
Yeah,
piece of art.
yeah, it's fun.
And
So
what about these Wonderlands? That's a 1,000 collection. And
yeah,
yeah.
Good. Yeah, that. So we wanted to do something special over like the Christmas holiday period, and so we were thinking about what we could do, and we had just airdropped hoverboards on Polygon, and like the process went really smooth, and we developed some new technology that allowed us to do that pretty easily. And so Anagar and I were talking, like, okay, what can we do? What could that look like? And we had this airdropping tech that was pretty smooth, and so we're like, well, why don't we just build out like basically a holiday collection, um, and instead of airdropping it, we can give players a chance to earn these. And so then we devised the ticket system, which has now evolved into the current ticket system where people are able to earn tickets in racing now. But basically, through racing, they could earn tickets. Every 500 tickets, they were able to get a free airdrop of these NFTs. And so the more the players earned, basically, it was like a 2-week period that we had double racing experience. And yeah, people just started collecting these NFTs through earning tickets and racing, and I think overall it's pretty successful. Players really enjoyed it, and so now we have the Wonderland collection, which is just meant to be a fun way of for players to show that they were here in the very beginning for the first collection, and have like probably some of the most rare NFTs in the game just because of the size of the collection. So.
If you know what I'm talking about, it reminds me of the party hats in RuneScape. Gives me party hat vibes.
That's it's probably very similar. I didn't play a lot of RuneScape, but I can imagine.
Yeah. It's just it was a very rare collectible that were given to early players, and it just after that you weren't able to get it anymore. So they were selling for like millions.
Yeah, I bet it was pretty valuable because of that.
Yeah.
So.
Are you able to go into the tokenomics side of things? I know there isn't a token out yet. You have to race, and then you earn tickets.
Yeah, I
can change that to EVA tokens. Yeah.
I can talk a little bit about that. I mean, we're still very much actively developing the tokenomics right now. So there's a lot in flight, but I can help paint like a broad picture of where it's going. Essentially, we see the Evaverse almost like this mini game hub, or like if you imagine like a state fair where there's like all these different rides and amusement parks, and you kind of go on whatever one you want, and you're earning tickets, which then can be exchanged into some kind of value. And so as the Evaverse grows and more games come online, players will be able to choose the types of games they want to participate in, and they'll be able to earn in whatever games they choose. And then these games will or what they earn will be tickets, which they'll be able to transact and turn into this concept called badges. And badges are essentially represent a token allocation. And there's 3 different types of badges. There's like based on the rarity of our characters, which are like a rival, zeniths, and celestial. There's a rival, zeniths, and celestial badges. And so these are kind of an off-chain earning mechanism, which we're pretty excited about because it actually lets players that don't have a crypto wallet begin to earn things. And then as they earn and collect and just play a game that's fun, it serves as a really good hook for getting onto the chain and capturing those earnings that they've received through playing. And so the high level idea is that players that will then collect these badges, and then we will reward them with tokens based on the tokenomic model that's in development right now.
Okay. And the EVA tokens that you'll be able to claim, is that the governance token?
It'll be the utility token and the governance token to a certain extent. This is going to be based on the tokenomic model that we're working on now.
Okay. So you guys are not having 2 separate tokens?
The idea is to have 2 separate tokens, yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so there's a lot still at work.
There's a lot still at work. I'll say the goals of the tokens are to support like the long-term sustainable vision for the game economy and give players really exciting ways to engage with the governance token and earn new NFTs. And so, like at the end of the day, the route that we take and the choices we make are to create a long-term sustainable economy for this game that can scale over 100,000 players, 1,000,000 players in the months and years to come.
I mean, which is good because it sounds like you have to use the tokens in order to get items in other games, which is the incentive to burn the tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I know you can't go too deep into that, so let's move
Yeah, I
on.
mean, yeah, I can't go too specific just because a lot of the specifics are still being worked on, and
Yeah.
if I say one thing, it can set a certain precedent. So I just need to be
Yeah.
careful about,
Yeah.
how I talk about it. But
Yeah.
I will say we are working with incredibly smart people that have experience doing this, and so
Okay.
and a really solid team.
Yeah. Let's talk about guilds, man. I'm seeing a lot of guilds popping up in Evaverse. I know, like, shout outs to Trip scholarships. I'm friends with a guy. I'm Twitter friends with a guy. It seems like a cool guy, and he's got like 300 scholars, I believe, in Evaverse. Like, how do you feel about guilds just popping up? Even now, if you look at the screen, there's like 3 guilds.
Yeah. Honestly, I love to see it. I think it's awesome. People are passionate about the space. I'm hearing from um, scholars, if you will, people in the guilds that they love playing the game, and they it's like that's our goal. Like we're trying to marry earning with an actual fun gaming experience, and so and that's what I'm hearing, and that's what I'm seeing in the guilds, and so it's keeping our servers healthy and people are enjoying playing, and it sets this really cool almost meta game outside of the game itself as a manager or a guild leader where you're able to take a layer of utility on top of your NFTs and put together a team and play the game, not just in the game, but kind of beyond the scope of the game, where these discords are popping up and different Twitter accounts and people are recruiting. And I think that's one of the amazing things about blockchain games that traditional free-to-play games can't do. And so I love to see that, and that's why we built the system. We want to support it, and we want to not just support it, but give people using those systems like first class or best in class utility and tools to manage their guilds and teams in a way that is fully supported as like a first class citizen in the ecosystem.
Yeah. Can you expand more on the tools that are given to the guild members? I know you've got a automated website, and I appreciate that because I've got scholars in Axie Infinity, and manually paying them out, it's it's mentally very painful. So I
Yeah,
appreciate the automated
yeah,
website.
yeah, of course. So yeah, we have a website, and so we have a lending system. Like right now, your partner's playing on my NFTs and my hoverboard that I lent him at the beginning of this conversation, and it's all off chain. So it happens on the game side and the game server side, so that you don't actually have to pay gas. There's no custody change, so it's totally secure and risk free, which is important for us. We want people to be able to lend with the sort of ease of mind that their NFTs are still safe and they still own them. And so when you do lend through the website, you just put in the account ID of the person you're lending to, and the amount of tickets that you would like to split with them, and you can set that relationship up how you see fit. And we have the option to add additional earners, like other accounts, if you want to have like a manager type relationship where there's multiple people earning or recruiting. So you can kind of schedule it or set it up however you like, and then tickets when the person playing or plays on that character and they earn tickets, the distribution automatically goes to all the accounts set up based on that NFT that they're playing with.
Yeah, and it's completely automated. It happens within an instant. You can take it
Yeah,
back whenever you
yeah,
want.
yeah.
So it's a very cool setup.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we're excited about that. It's been pretty well received so far, and we're going to continue to expand that, especially as we build new games, new game modes, and introduce more ways to play the game.
Yeah. Could you talk a little bit more about the levels? Like, how do you level up? Do you just do that by playing and winning the game in the racing game?
Yeah, so right now the only part that has levels are the hoverboards. And so
Okay.
they go 1 to 10. They start at level 1, and you race. You gain experience for racing. If you win, if you get first place, you get more experience. If there's more people racing, you get more experience. So if there's like 20 or more people and you win first place, that's a huge bonus. If there's like 4 people and you win first place, it's not as huge. Um, and so and then the rarity of the hoverboard also increases the amount of experience you get. So the more rare ones will level up faster.
Okay.
I will say that the leveling system so far on hoverboards has been pretty successful, and I think it's added a lot of depth and replayability to the game. And we're exploring a leveling system on first arrival characters,
Okay.
which may or may not be closely tied to the earning economy.
Okay. That's is that alpha?
Yeah,
Potential alpha.
yeah, potential. So
Okay. So how does leveling up your hoverboards affect the gameplay? Is it a
yeah,
flex at the moment, or does it
yeah,
make you faster?
yeah, good question. So the hoverboards have stats, and this was actually one of the things that our community voted for when we were launching the hoverboard collection. You know, we thought that, well, if some were faster than others, then that would create a pay to win scenario where maybe the most expensive boards would be the fastest ones, and you know, if someone had a really nice fast board, that would make it a little bit unfair. And so we were actually leaning towards making all the boards race the same. But then when we put the vote to the community to see what they thought, they unanimously voted like 50-0, I think, at the time, for hoverboards to have stats. And so then we started building out the stat system, but we with the goal in mind that everyone could essentially have a fair shot to a certain degree at completing
Hmm.
the course, no matter how fast or how slow or how your board handled. And so the stats that we have are max speed, acceleration, and handling. And you can see the stats in the bottom. Well, when you're on the hoverboard, you'll see them in the bottom
Yeah.
right corner. And then every time you level up, you get 15 new stats that are kind of randomly distributed up
Okay.
until level 10. So you would have like 150 total stats at level 10. And yeah, it's mostly random. It's weighted a little bit towards your primary stats, so you have a little bit of inclination. If you have mostly high max speed, that this board will continue to have high max speed. But that's why we've designed the course with a lot of hazards and puzzles and obstacles, because if there weren't, then the fastest boards would just always win. And so there's some skill
Yeah.
involved. So people that have higher acceleration or higher handling can still compete by outperforming the obstacles and challenges on the course.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have an NFT hoverboard, but I sometimes I can still beat people who have an NFT
Yeah,
hoverboard. So it's
yeah,
not.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's how it was designed. So even without an NFT, you can still compete and have a good time. And so I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. And what's the difference between the rarity? I know you've got like Zenith, and Celestial.
Hmm.
How do
Yeah,
they differ?
yeah. So the biggest visual tell are the laser eyes. So Zenith have um, red laser eyes coming out of their red lasers coming out of their eyes. Celestials have gold. They're a little. The lasers are a little bigger. They're a little more over the top, and so that's the biggest tell. And how it affects the character's prestige. Celestials all have like the highest levels of prestige in the game, and they higher level of prestige gives you a earning bonus so that you're actually able to earn tickets more quickly. Basically, everyone can earn tickets, but you earn about 5 times more tickets by having just any Evaverse first arrival character.
Okay.
But with that 5x, you earn an additional 2x based on your level of prestige. So prestige goes from 0 to 100. And so at 100, you have twice as much, you're earning twice as many tickets. And at
Okay.
0, you're just got the 1x multiplier. So, and then it's kind of just a sliding scale. So
Okay.
it allows you to earn more quickly in the game as well.
Okay. So prestige is currently tied to their earning potential within the game.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So it looks like looks like you guys have been building this game for a while. I mean, if I'm not wrong, because
Mhm.
you've got a you've actually got a product which is
Yeah,
polished, and most of the other NFT games they're still building it up. They're still building
yeah,
it up. So like, how
yeah.
long have you guys been working on this for?
Let's see. Almost a year, I'd say.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's like we were first, we did the NFT collection, and the game was really, really kind of bare bones. There wasn't a lot to do, and so we've been working on it. I mean, we work. I think our community will speak for this, but pretty much nonstop, almost like 6, 7 days a week. Like it's become a very much a full time just passion for us. Like it doesn't even really feel like working, just because it's like such a fun and exciting product to build, and the community has been very energizing for us. They've been very responsive and really excited about it, and that kind of fuels us. And so we're able to. We're also a really small team. Like a lot of this has been built with 2 people. We've since then expanded. We are a much larger team now, and some of the teammates we've introduced to the community, and some we'll be introducing very soon. And so we're really going to hit the gas as our team expands, and everyone on our team is highly talented game developers that come from AAA gaming and know how to uh, build games. And so we're going to be able to move really quickly once we get fully ramped up and everything. So we're excited
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, and especially as the project gets more discovery and the secondary market royalties come in.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. So it's going to be an exciting year. We've been working, this might have been on your question list, but maybe it's not, but I'll just mention it. Like we've been working on essentially the whole idea with this, like where we're going with the long-term vision is basically to kind of bootstrap our own like video game studio. And so
Okay.
we've been working with some partners in the space for kind of on the VC side and just general partnership side for how we structure this games company and how we announce it. And so we've been working on that for quite a while, but we're really, really close to coming out fully with the game studio, the founding team, who we are, what our background is, and kind of what our vision is for not just the Evaverse, but beyond that too. So um, that's all in the works as well.
So you guys are gonna dox yourself?
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
that was
Exciting
always
times.
that was always part of the plan, and I think that's going to be like a huge boost for the Avaverse in our company um, when it actually happens. And so it's great though that we're actually seeing all this traction before it happens.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's wonderful to see the player response to the way we've been building.
Yeah. Are you able to share anything about the VC news, or is that
Um,
confidential?
it's confidential. I can say that we should be able to share more about it by the end of this month. So
Okay.
yeah,
It's 18 days. Not too long, but
not
in
too long.
NFT land, it's more
Yeah.
like a couple of months.
Hmm.
But we'll get there soon
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. The space moves really fast.
Yeah.
So these type of deals move generally slower though. So, but yeah.
Yeah. Are there any collabs you're currently working on?
Yeah, we have quite a few actually. I mean, our first collab was with Super Yetis. I
Mm.
think back in September, maybe like that. I think we were maybe even still minting, and we put one of the Super Yeti avatars in the game, and that was super fun. And that kind of just set precedent for moving forward with how we integrate different projects. And yeah, we're always on the lookout for quality projects, especially that have 3D avatars to bring them into the world, just because we want people to be able to show off and experience their NFTs, like even if they're not part of our collection. And so we actually have a section in the inventory there. If you click on NFTs, you can add your 2D NFTs from OpenSea. and you can show them off above your head as well. And so essentially, yeah, if you just hit add to the NFT, you paste the URL, the NFT you own. Your wallet needs to be connected to verify you actually own it, and then you can like flash it above your head. But some of the projects we have collaborated with, once you add one, it will also like unlock like an additional feature, like a new avatar for you to play if it's one of our partner projects. And so we did one with Super Yetis. We've done Pluto Alliance. We've done the Alien Boy. We recently announced one with Doge Pound. We have Meta Guardians. And so, yep, there you go. So you select it first. I think you might have to actually select it in the inventory.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah. Or there you go. All right. So press, yeah, if you press C, C is the hotkey to, I think you got it. Yeah, you got it selected. So you're good now. Yeah, there you go. You close that and you just press C anytime you want to show it off. Or you go put it on a billboard if you want.
How do you put it on a billboard?
You just walk up to it, and the E is the hotkey to interact in the game. And so you just walk up to it and press E, and it'll go up there.
Cool. So yeah, you'll be able to use these avatars inside the game, like the Alien Boy, and I saw a clip with the CyberCon VX.
Yeah,
and that was actually the tweet that I was like, okay, I need to check this thing out.
Yeah, that got a lot of views, like 30,000, I think.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Which is pretty awesome, and that was pretty exciting. Yeah, that was my friend that is a VX owner and has the rights to it. And was like, hey, what would it take to put this in? And I was like, well, send me the file. Let me take a look. And then I just sent him that. And I was like, well, it's roughly what it looked like. And then it kind of took off. So we've been talking to the comms team since about what something in the space together would look like. And so we don't have anything to share yet, but we're exploring a few different options.
Yeah, I feel like those tweets, like I know there's someone requesting an apostle from BioPills.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that would definitely win over the BioPills community. Like I feel like they're already joining in, but that would be like, the cherry on top.
Yeah, those are really cool avatars, and we're exploring something there as well.
Yeah, like I'm a huge fan of BioPills as well, and it seems like there's a huge crossover within BioPills and Evaverse right now, so that would definitely be an exciting collab if you guys can work something out together.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But yeah, I think that is all the questions that I've got for today. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comment below. If not, then is there anything that you would like to share before we end the stream?
I think I shared mostly everything. Like, check out the game if you haven't. It's free on Steam. You don't need any avatars, but if you come into Discord, the community will be more than happy to lend you a hoverboard or an avatar to play with to check it out. And yeah, we'd love to have you. So
actually,
check.
I do have a few more questions if you don't mind.
All right. Yeah. Go for it.
Are you planning to expand the Evaverse brand into other metaverse projects like the Sandbox and the Decentraland?
Yeah, that's a good question. The high-level answer is not right now. It's like we're really focused on building what we have here, and we're building a platform where we want to invite others into it to join it that way. And so any cycles we spend like in another platform takes away from the things that we could be doing to build our own brand and our own metaverse. And so we're mostly focused on what we're doing in this space. And yeah.
Someone asked, can you talk about the Steam issue?
The Steam issue. Yeah. So yeah, this has been brought up a lot. Steam, if you go back to Age of Rust, which was the game that kind of broke this news, which I think is very interesting. They said Steam's banning all blockchain games, and that kind of went viral and took over the news cycle for a couple of days. Steam actually never you can't trace that back to an announcement that Steam made. Steam's terms of service were always their terms of service. They just didn't let Age of Rust release their product because it's built on the blockchain, and they're very adamant. Like projects built on the blockchain technology can't be sort of released on their platform. And when we originally released the Evaverse game, they told us the same thing, and then we followed up and said, actually, look, like this free to play game, there's no way to earn crypto technology. There's no way to earn tokens. There's no way to trade tokens. Like this is just a free to play game that looks at NFTs. And they within 24 hours they let us release. And so we've like been very cognizant of the fact, like that's why there is no play to earn token in the game. We want to be on Steam. We want to have a widely accessible platform. But like you're not able to read and write to the blockchain in anything you do in game. And so for most intents and purposes, this game's not really built on the blockchain. And so we've been fine with Steam this whole time. And so like as the game expands, like I think we'll eventually come off Steam when we do want to build more integrated game systems that are more integrated into the blockchain. And so that's been our approach so far, and it's worked. And then that's how we continue to develop.
Yeah, I guess eventually as the game grows, you won't need Steam anymore.
Yeah, or maybe we have one version of the game on Steam that like is more like the free to play, not earning version, and then we have a different version on either our own launcher or we work with another platform. So
okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
because someone asked me that on Twitter as well. I'm like, isn't it supposed to be banned? But I guess you answered the question.
Yeah, it's a good question. I hear that a lot.
Is there any other project within the NFT space that inspires you? Like, oh, they're doing something very cool. I would like to implement that into Evaverse in our own unique way.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I'm looking around a lot at the different kind of play to earn games, and I think there's a lot of the big ones are very ambitious and they're doing very cool things, whether that's like Illuvium or Star Atlas. I think Gallic Games is doing some really cool things with like how they're approaching multiple games in a single token and chain to support them. And then I think there's a number of different gaming projects that we're always on the lookout for, trying to see, because the space is so new in some regards that it's almost like anything's possible. And it's like there's some, even I was looking at like a crypto unicorns game and what they were doing with land for their unicorn NFT sale, and it's like the tokenomics is where it gets really interesting, and there's a lot, I think, of inspiration to be had from how other projects are thinking about the space and their approach to solving the problems that we're trying to solve too. So,
okay, cool. Someone in the chat asked, so will Zenith and Celestial have any other advantage beside prestige in the future?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, so they have the prestige. They can earn greater. We want to build more utility into them so that you can show off your status, whether that's like a custom like floating animation or a custom particle, or like you get a little more swag that's visual. Like we're working on some systems like that. But yeah, like I think there's a combination. There's ways to introduce like really cool features for those characters that it doesn't necessarily. That's more about like visual kind of like bragging rights and style points than necessarily everything having to be related to earning. But we're doing a combination of both.
Yeah. I mean, to a lot of people, including me, like having rare assets in games, they do matter. So
yeah, totally. So the more we can support and allow players to express the ownership of their assets, is the better. And so we're always looking for systems like that.
Yeah. Someone also asked, will the second arrival collection have the same token earning power as the first?
In some ways, yes, and in other ways, no. We want essentially the same earning potential across both collections. So people feel like if they come into the game late, they didn't miss out because all the first arrivals are now too expensive and priced out of their price range. And so we want them to feel like they still have a chance to get in on this game and have a good time and compete with the rest of everyone else, even though they have a second arrival. However, we don't want second arrivals to be an exact copy of first arrivals, so that if you have a first arrival, you don't need a second arrival. We're trying to establish, the goal is to establish rights and ownership incentives for both collections. So ideally,
Okay.
to experience the full extent of the game, you'll want one of each, or have one of each, or have multiple. But they won't have the exact same function, but they will both have similar earning potential.
Yeah, that's cool. So they'll be unique in their own ways.
Correct, yes.
Is there any dates for the new race to be released?
Yeah, so we had an open beta last weekend and we got a lot of feedback. And we introduced some new mechanics, which were pretty well received, but there's still a lot of work to be done on sort of the track clarity and some of the visuals for pathing and things like that. And so we're working on that now. Generally, how we do this is like we'll do another open beta just to get one more round of feedback once we feel it's in a much better place. And that'll be happening pretty soon. And then we'll do that last bit of polish to ensure that the track is ready for mainstream. And then, yeah, I would like to have the second racetrack fully out this month.
Yeah, cool. And I'm excited for the turtle racing. I want to see what they look like when they're running around. I feel like
Yeah.
it'll be pretty funny.
Yeah, it is. I don't have a link right now, but we did post some early screenshots back when we were developing hoverboard racing, where you can see the turtles running around a track. I'll see if I can pull that up. Maybe I'll send it to you after the show. But
Sure.
Yeah, I'm excited about that as well.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think that's pretty much about it for today. So thank you to everyone that joined in. Please do make sure you leave a follow because we interview founders of awesome NFT projects multiple times every week. Make sure you follow Evaverse on Twitter and join the Discord if you haven't done that already because their project is awesome. I'm a huge fan of it and hopefully you like it too. And thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. And one last thing I forgot to mention is we just released Mac support so that everyone can play on a PC or an Mac OS. So definitely check the game out.
Yeah, cool. And yeah, have a great day. Have a great night wherever you are. Peace out.
All right, see you.